First, Voyager was sent to space even before many of us were born. But was Voyager initially sent to space just to discover the undiscovered? It did not give us the detailed information about anything it found, and that's where the need to send another spacecraft emerged, and the spacecraft was named Voyager 2. Voyager 2 sent some of the pictures from the depths of space, and you will definitely be amazed to know what we never knew before. But what mysteries did this spacecraft uncover? And what more is left for us to know? Hey everyone, welcome to Space Scientists. In today's video, we are going to talk about Voyager 2 sent back its final images from space. What did it find? So if you want to know more about it, then stay with us until the end of the video. And before we start the video, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and ring the bell icon for more amazing videos. The Voyager spacecraft has been flying through the deep reaches of space for more than 40 years now, while exploring everything it flies by. That's a long time, even for a spacecraft. And in that time, Voyager has stumbled upon some mind-blowing discoveries. It's answered some questions, raised some new ones, and dove deeper and deeper into space, moving even further away from our planet. 12 billion miles from Earth, there is an elusive boundary that marks the edge of the Sun's realm and the start of interstellar space. When Voyager 2, the longest-running space mission, crossed that frontier more than 40 years after its launch, it sent a faint signal from the other side that scientists have now decoded. The NASA craft is the second ever to travel beyond the heliosphere, the bubble of supersonic charged particles streaming outwards from the Sun. Despite setting off a month ahead of its twin, Voyager 1, it crossed the threshold into interstellar space more than 6 years behind, after taking the scenic route across the solar system and providing what remain the only close-up images of Uranus and Neptune. Now, Voyager 2 has sent back the most detailed look yet at the edge of our solar system, despite NASA scientists having no idea at the outset that it would survive to see this landmark. We didn't know how large the bubble was, and we certainly didn't know that the spacecraft could live long enough to reach the edge of the bubble and enter interstellar space, said Professor Ed Stone of the California Institute of Technology, who has been working on this mission since before its launch in 1977. Voyager 2 began transmitting images of Jupiter on April 24, 1979, for time-lapse movies of atmospheric circulation. Unlike Voyager 1, Voyager 2 made close passes to the Jovian moons on its way into the system, with scientists especially interested in more information from Europa and Io, which necessitated a 10-hour-long volcano watch. During its encounter, it relayed back spectacular photos of the entire Jovian system, including its moons Callisto, Ganymede, Europa, Io, and Amalthea, all of which had already been surveyed by Voyager 1. Voyager 2's closest encounter to Jupiter was at 2229 UT, July 9, 1979, at a range of about 400,785 miles. It transmitted new data on the planet's clouds, its newly discovered 4 moons, and ring system, as well as 17,000 new pictures. When the early pioneers flew by Jupiter, they detected few atmospheric changes from one encounter to the second, but Voyager 2 detected many significant changes, including a drift in the Great Red Spot, as well as changes in its shape and color. With the combined cameras of the two Voyagers, at least 80% of the surface of Ganymede and Callisto were mapped out to a resolution of about 3 miles. The discoveries it made about Saturn were unbelievable. Following a course correction 2 hours after its closest approach to Jupiter, Voyager 2 sped to Saturn, its trajectory determined to a large degree by a decision made in January 1981 to try to send the spacecraft to Uranus and Neptune later in the decade. Its encounter with the sixth planet began August 22, 1981, 2 years after leaving the Jovian system, with imaging of the moon Iapetus. Once again, Voyager 2 repeated the photographic mission of its predecessor, although it actually flew about 14,290 miles closer to Saturn. The closest encounter to Saturn was at 1:21 UT on August 26, 1981, at a range of about 63,000 miles. The spacecraft provided more detailed images of the ring's spokes and kinks, and also the F-ring and its shepherding moons, all found by Voyager 1. Voyager 2's data suggested that Saturn's A-ring was perhaps only about 980 feet thick. As it flew behind and up past Saturn, the probe passed through the plane of Saturn's rings at a speed of 8 miles per second. For several minutes during this phase, the spacecraft was hit by thousands of micro-sized dust grains and created a puff, plasma, as they were vaporized. Because the vehicle's attitude was repeatedly shifted by the particles, attitude-controlled jets automatically fired many times to stabilize the vehicle. Before Voyager 2's visit, many thought that the rings of Saturn would be bland, fairly straightforward and predictable, but it didn't end up being like that at all. Instead, it was uncovered that the rings are actually a detailed, dynamic, intricate structure. In other words, Voyager was able to really paint a picture of Saturn and its rings. During the encounter, Voyager 2 also photographed the Saturn moon Hyperion, the Hamburger moon, Enceladus, Tethys, and Phoebe, as well as the more recently discovered Helene, Telesto, and Calypso. Now, Voyager has spent a lot of time in space, and it is expected to uncover even more, as it is moving further and further away from Earth. Voyager is still startling scientists with its new astonishing discoveries. As recently, a new study reported a new signal discovered by Voyager, more specifically, discovered by the plasma wave system on board the spacecraft. And this is it for today's video. What are your thoughts on today's video? And what do you think about the amazing discoveries Voyager spacecraft did for us? Which one was your favorite? Share your views with us in the comments below. Also, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell icon for more amazing videos about space. And thank you for watching.